Messages from Heaven by Jaynee.net. That's my website, and SpiritsbyJaynee at gmail.com. I spoke to Spirits Online in my last show. I had to take it off because their responses were so heavy duty. And I don't, you know, with Trump, I don't trust him for me not to be thrown into Louisiana. Um, Even though I'm 77, he wouldn't care. Um, I wanted to speak to Jimmy Carter, not expecting to talk to anybody else. But the next one who came out, not knowing there was going to be a next one, was James Madison, and then Eisenhower, Bush, they hang out together, um, and who else? Oh my God, uh, Hoover, Coolidge. Um, Another one that was a blast from the past, I forget. And Hoover, Coolidge, and Roosevelt, and I forget if there's anybody else. And they all had opinions, and they were all pretty violent. They were not what I expected. Really, not what I expected. Um, can I say? If you're interested in what they said, contact me. I don't want to get in trouble, putting it on, um, especially if people aren't interested. But really, I don't want to get in trouble for that because you know people are not necessarily going to believe that I talked to the spirits, which is really what I did. It was a big shock. Um, they were just coming out of the woodwork. Um, I knew Pierce was going to come out. Pierce was actually, I believe, he was a ancestor of the Bushes. Not positive, I believe so, but there were a lot of them that wanted to give their opinion. It makes sense. They were the presidents too, and they care about the prestige of the White House. So they care. They don't want it to be destroyed, and they don't want the country to be destroyed, which I think is what's happening. Um, so enough said. If you want to know, then write to me, and I'll find a way to let you know. Otherwise, there's an awful lot of stuff in the world going on. There are terrorists, not just in India, Kashmir, um, Israel, also in Sudan and Nigeria. I don't know if they're active right this minute, but there are bad characters all over the place. And if we're lucky enough to live normal, good lives, we have to be thankful. I hope that you can be thankful for what you have. Not so much what you wish you had, because think about what you have and just realize that it's a lot. And try to behave in such a way that you like yourself. There are times when you won't, because it's normal and we all make mistakes and then we're sorry for it. Try to treat yourself well, and when you make mistakes, tell yourself, yeah, it's all right to make it's a mistake. It's not a big deal, you know? And regardless if somebody else makes a big deal about it, it's not a big deal. And don't you make a big deal out of it, because it doesn't matter what somebody else thinks. It really matters what you think. It matters what you think of yourself, not what some schlepper over on the next street thinks. Doesn't matter what they think. Their responsibility is themselves, not you. They don't get to me. Like when when we transition and we have a life review, they're not there. They don't get to give their opinion. To hell with them. You give your opinion. You are the ultimate judge of you. And we really have to be. And if we're crappy judges of ourselves and if we don't try to do the best we can, then we're stuck coming back. Now, you may want to come back. I don't. I had a great life. Still hard. When I compare it with people in Sierra Leone or, I don't know, Cambodia, surely seems terrific, but every life is hard. Nothing is easy, nothing is free. It's all hard. No parent is 100%. You never get everything you need. It's we wake up, we not wake up, we grow up angry, um, looking for what we didn't get. It's normal. Stinks, but that's reality. We really have to appreciate being ourselves. You see, hi. Oh, thank you. I wish my hair were longer. I had that red stuff cut off, and oh boy, that was like it was like, hey, you know, what can I say? Maybe next time you'll see me with long hair, and it will be a wig. That's so sweet. Thank you. Now we really have to. It's our job in life is to improve ourselves because this won't have been your first life. It's very doubtful it's your first life. And kind of look at what is your problem. Nobody really can tell you. It's you. You have to look and say, what is my problem? Like, what are the things that I want to change? What is, and a lot of times, I know I felt overwhelmed when I was a young woman and I was so hysterical, really nervous, and not just nervous, but I was overwhelmed and crazed. I really needed help, and there was no one who could help me, and I could not help myself. It's really a terrible feeling. It took me years, and the therapist that I had made me feel safe, but did not help me with that core of hysteria. I mean, I was so scared. I went to art school and thought that my work was not as good as the other people's, which I think was probably true at the time. A lot of them, I went to this wonderful art school where a lot of the people had been painting like I had for years, but they'd had instruction and, um, I don't know, a better atmosphere. They weren't being driven crazy by their parents. Um, so I went through a lot, and I was glad for the safety, but for looking into myself to find what to do and how to be, that wasn't his thing. He was a Freudian. So um, I had to ultimately find somebody else. I still cared about him, and I still do. And he had wanted to train me to be his like acolyte. I think he knows. Well, now you're on the other side, and so he knows that I'm not an ideal candidate. I mean, I sure as hell don't believe in Freudian psychology. Anyway, I do know that it is up to us. I mean, if you have really good parents, then you know that you're loved and that you're worth loving and that you are enough no matter what you do, you're enough. And that's a big deal. I know I didn't feel that. I'm trying to make sure that my granddaughters do. So if you don't feel it like I didn't feel it, you have to do it yourself. You have to tell yourself that it's good to meditate. It helps because it helps relax you and gives your brain a chance to work without the nonsense, going on in your head. Okay, so the funny thing is, I had to rush off the presidents. I mean, here I called just Jimmy Carter, and then I see President Hamilton. Was it Hamilton? No, Madison coming in the room, and I knew something was up because I was only intending to talk to Carter and for a short time. And it's not that I saw them as bodies, they weren't bodies. They felt like spirits coming in, and I could feel them, more of them coming in. And I felt like, oh no, pretty soon I'm going to be hearing from Benjamin Franklin. Yeah, I know he wasn't president, but Jefferson, and they're all going to want to give their stories. No, I don't want to be on here all night, and I don't want to hear Lincoln's address concerning Trump because I know he can do it. He can really. I mean, I've talked to him before. He really can talk. He's really down to earth. He's a nice man. I mean, he seems like a nice man anyway. So do well. Do things that make you feel good about yourself. That's really what you have to do. You are the king, you are the queen of yourself. No one has the right to do anything to you unless you give your approval. That's it. I feel like okay. Shutting up. I see my grandmother's nose. Like you look at yourself and you see your families. I told my granddaughters that they have the same shape eyes. My son has that same shape. My father had that same shape. My grandmother had that same shape. And here are these two little girls, 8 and 10, and they have the same shape. You think I didn't think it was wonderful? I sure as hell did. Next, I'll be looking at their ears and figuring out because, as an artist, you really do look at those things. I have my father's mouth too. I'm going to be looking at them. You can do that. You can really do it. But you are the queen or king. Do the best you can for yourself. Don't worry about anybody else. It's you. Not them. You. All right. Write to me if you can. I would love it. Push the buttons. I don't know. Whatever. Have a good day tomorrow. I'm going to go see Stompin' at the Savoy on Sunday. And if you want to know how it was, just ask me. I love all that dancing and singing. It's fun. Enjoy. Have a good night. Bye-bye now. Where's the thing? Where's that thing? Boom. Okay. I love you all. Take it easy. Be as good to yourself as you can be. You're it.